but he sent it to me, and he told me exactly what's going to happen. Now, they are going to have war with Iran. Please, put this down. It is going to happen. It's going to be horrifying. I'll tell you what his opinion is as we go along through it. It is not going to happen this month, nor next month, nor probably the next month. It is going to happen, and they have an approximate time date for it. The reason why they're going to let it happen, well, first of all, let me tell you what they want. Now, keep in mind the elite are not God. They just think they are. And they don't always get their way. But if they get their way, here's what's going to happen. Israel will not fire the first shot. No, I know. Again, use letter writers, please forgive me. All I can do is just tell you what the elite tell me. Israel will not fire the first shot if the elite have their way. America will not fire the first shot if the elite have their way. Instead, Iran is going to be intimidated. They're going to be harassed. They are going to have every kind of thing imaginable imposed on them. And they want Iran to make the first fire. They want it to be the shot heard around the world and to come from Iran itself. And they want it to take place for a very definite reason. And, Alex, you put it on your website. I picked it up also, but I got it off of your website. Folks, please listen to Alex Jones every day. He's telling you things you're not getting anyplace else. The Genesis Network, they're giving out information you won't get any other place. You've got to listen to it. So, Alex, I got on your website, and I picked this up. You had it there. I'm going to repeat it because this goes along with what my elitist friend told me, and here it is. The subscriber-only report, the DEBCA file, a Israeli intelligence outfit, which has proven to be accurate in the past, revealed recently at the end of the NATO operations in Libya, the President Barack Obama stated to America's senior allies, Britain, France, Germany, Italy, Saudi Arabia, and he stated what? With their notice of his plan to attack Iran no later, please, put these dates down. Put them beside your calendar. Okay. With attack Iran no later than September or October of 2012, unless Tehran halts its nuclear weaponization program. Folks, you know they aren't going to halt it. He knows they're not going to halt it. He's doing this intentionally for a reason. Now, my elitist friend did not point me to the DEBCA files. You had it on your website, Alex. I am saying what my elitist friend told me was there's not going to be a war with Iran this month, next month. I know America's warships are over there beside Syria. Russia has already moved in their armada of warships over there by Syria. You surely must know that there are 30 Yacht missiles that Russia has moved into Syria. You are aware of this. I hope that you understand what this missile is. You've got to go on the website and look at what it does. It travels 3 times the speed of sound. There is no way that America's warships that are near Syria are going to be able to stop it before they get wiped out. And there are 30 of them already. They've been moved in there when the Russians went in with their ships just recently. Every bit of this is in preparation for what they know is going to be inevitable. It will not take this place this month nor next month. The elite want it to take place later on up into 2012. It is all a part of their program, and I'll give you now the personal opinion of my elitist friend. He went on to say what they want. They do not want America to have the first strike. They don't want Israel to have the first strike. They want Iran to have it because they're going to be so intimidated. But then he said, Lindsey, I believe this will be, and these are his words. He didn't hear this behind closed doors. He believes this personally himself. He said, Lindsey, I believe this is going to be the beginning of World War III. That was his personal opinion, off the cuff from what he heard behind closed doors.
Well, the Rand Corporation said 2 years ago they want something bigger than a regional war to distract the global implosion and the banking takeover. They need that, and it actually then leaked out after DEBCA and others reported it that, you know, there may be a strike, but the Pentagon thinks it's a year until they get a nuke or whatever. But then Netanyahu wants it earlier because of political elections and things. But certainly they've got special forces and others blowing stuff up, killing people all over Iran. That's now confirmed. They've got spy planes, I've been told, not just surveilling, but dropping bombs. Bombs are being dropped. There's satellite photos of giant craters at these sites, the missile site and others. So they are trying to actually, they tried to kill Ahmadinejad, who was scheduled to be there last week when that happened, or a week and a half ago, at that missile base. That's been confirmed now. He'll drive over a bridge, and the bridge blows up behind him or right in front of him. They're moving his schedule around to stop it. But the point is, they're trying to get him to attack and the mullahs to attack because, yes, they want to be able to say that. But they could, did your elitist source say anything about them staging something to blame it on Iran and say Iran did something first? Because Iran's certainly getting mad. They're now saying, okay, we'll block the Strait of Hormuz.
What was indicated to me is that they're going to intimidate, they're going to harass, they'll do anything in their power in order to get Iran so angry that they will shoot the first shot. Now, keep in mind that 40% of the world's oil supply on any day travels through the Strait of Hormuz. And the moment that there is a conflict with Iran, between Iran and anybody else, whether it be Syria or America or Israel or whatever it may be, the Strait of Hormuz is cut off. Now, let me go back a moment and clarify something. I have not been on your show for 5 months, Alex, so there are a number of things I haven't had an opportunity to say. The last time I appeared on your show on June the 22nd of 2011, I made the statement that crude oil prices were going to $150 to $200 a barrel. It has not happened yet. I went back to my elitist friend the latter part of June, since I have last been on your show. I think it was maybe the 1st of July. And I called him by name, and I said, "You're not helping my credibility very much." I said, "You told me that the price of crude oil was going from $150 to $200 a barrel." And he said, "Chaplain, that's exactly right." I said, "Well, it hasn't. What's the matter?" He said, "No, and I'm sorry to have to tell you, it's not going to during the summer and up into the fall." I said, "Well, you know what that's doing to my credibility." He said, "I'm sorry, that's just the way it is."
Well, he was right, and so was Fromm before. I have to be careful not to say his name, because it's in my mind. I mean, they said when it was $60, it'd go to $150. Everybody laughed. It did do that in the exact time frame. Then you said now it's going to $40. It went below $40. Everybody laughed at you till it happened. So that's why I'm saying about 95% of what they've told you has been accurate, but they do change plans. I mean, if we expose this Iran plan enough, Iran may just keep taking it, and it may not happen.
Well, and the thing is, the reason why they didn't do this. And so I asked him, I said, "Well, why didn't you take the price of crude oil before the summer's over?" That was the beginning of the summer. I said, "Why aren't you going to take the price to $150 a barrel like you told me it was going to?" Alex, here is something that will startle you, and it could only come from the elite. It'll even startle you, I think. I found out that the reason they didn't let it keep going up is because too many Americans were waking up. Now, I know this sounds strange, but you remember when I lived with the elite, I came to the conclusion that there's only one thing on the face of this earth that they fear. They fear the masses waking up. There's only a few of them. There's a whole bunch of us. And they do not...
Stay there. This is fascinating. You know why? Because I trust but verify. I have from Jim Tucker, Estlin, and one other source that do have Bilderberg sources. Tucker's got the hardcore ones, actual Bilderberg, not just an assistant. That's one of the main things they talked about back whenever they ran it up to 160. Then they said, we're going to run it back down to 40 or so. They actually said 60 in the meeting because it's making people too angry and they're waking up. They discuss Ron Paul in these meetings. They discuss the Patriot movement. So, they are watching it. See, they're worried about the American people because we've got guns, folks.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got another major signpost coming in. We're trying to confirm it right now. I hope it's not true. I hoped it wasn't true the ATF shipped the guns into Mexico to blame the Second Amendment. They're now internal memorandums have been made public. They did. It was all set up. I wish Corzine wouldn't have stolen the $3 billion, but now he just says doesn't know where it is, and that's the end of it. I wish that they hadn't passed the NDAA saying they can arrest citizens for no reason and put you in a black hole and use the Army. I wish that the Stars and Stripes magazine didn't say that 3 years ago. But they are getting ready for it. Oath Keepers has the report. It's coming up on Infowars.com right now. Oath Keepers receives tip of National Guard unit stand down, refusing to answer questionnaire. And we know these have been asked in the past, asking if they would use lethal force against the American people. They reportedly dropped their arms before taking part in the exercise, which I've been in drills where they practice taking on the American people, regular Army and Marines, and ROTC. I've never seen Guard. Well, I saw Guard and gun confiscation drill in Iowa. That's right. But they reportedly dropped their firearms and walked off and said, we're not taking the questionnaire and we're not taking part in this exercise. And Stuart Rhodes is totally confirming it right now, but it looks like it's coming from a good source. So we're going to This government is so criminal. Lindsey, it's a short segment going right back to you. Okay, when we went up to the break, you were bringing up the point of the fact that they're concerned about the American people if they raise the gasoline prices too much, and I've gotten that from Bilderberg as well previously. Please continue.
For those of you who have just tuned in to the Alex Jones Show and Genesis, may I say that a number of years ago, the reason I know this material is because I was invited to be the chaplain of the elite of the world for a 3-year period. I kept in touch with some of those people who are now in their 70s and 80s, and they have personally given me this information. It is the only way I have any access to it. And, Alex, you're exactly right. They even talk about you, by the way, in those meetings, Alex. I could tell you some things. I will off the air someday. But they took the price of gasoline up. They saw that to fill up an SUV, and it cost $100. Too many people were waking up, and it kind of hurt my credibility a little bit. When he told me, he said, well, Chaplain, I'm sorry, but you'll just have to take it. Now, I'll tell you this, though. It is going to go up to $150 to $200 a barrel, and when it does, it is going to take place literally overnight. They will do it at a point that will be most unexpected. Why, please, why do they not want war with Iran until September, October of 2012? There's a reason why. Our president, President Barack Hussein Obama, Mr. Obama is in trouble. He's their man. He's doing everything that they want done, even though, earlier they said McCain was their man, but they've gotten Obama in line with everything they wanted to do with him. And now he's in trouble. The economy is in trouble. The unemployment rate is horrifying. People are mad as can be. They must find a way to get him back in office. Now, do you realize that the election is in November of 2012? September or October, how close are you to it? You undoubtedly know from history, if you're a history student, no sitting president has ever lost an election in a time of a declared war or an emergency.
October surprise.
That's exactly what they want, and they're doing it intentionally.
Well, that makes sense. It's always hiding in plain view. They want an October surprise for Obama, who will look tough, and the neocons have said, strike Iran, you'll be reelected. He strikes 2 months before. Then we go into the Great Depression. It's the Iranians' fault.
Yes, I'm going to stick my neck way, way out. We will not have war with Iran this month or next month, even though our warships are all the way over there. Russia is mad as can be. You've got a problem because of Syria. It is not going to happen if they have their way until later up into 2012. Folks, please, 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 I beg you, don't let your guard down. Don't stop making preparation. It is going to happen. Just because I've said it's not going to happen this month or next, or the elite don't want it this month or next, you have a window of opportunity right now to get that storage food and water in your house, to make your preparations and do what you're going to do. You have the greatest opportunity imaginable while the dollar is still high before it crashes, and it is going to crash. Their time schedule is still the end of 2012 for the demise of the American dollar, and it'll all take place around this whole situation. We've just got two statements. Number one, Iran war is not going to take place right now if the elite have their way. It is going to take place next year. It will happen. They are ready. For 3 years, I've been telling you it would not happen because Mr. Fromm said that before he died. It's changed.